Hello everyone, it is day 8 of the left-hand flute project. We're getting started into the second week. So without further ado, I'm just going to get started practicing. See if we can go even faster. Metronome work is awesome. I just noticed something while playing through the tetrachords. I don't have to think about the fingerings for some of the notes. Low F, G, A, and B flat, those fingers are just working on their own now, which is really cool. It doesn't mean that I can do it fast, but it means that I'm not thinking about it. However, there are still some notes, C, D, and E, of course, that I still do have to think about, and I really have to focus on which fingers I'm using. Knowing that some of the fingers are coming more naturally is really exciting, and it's making me want to practice it more. It's day 8, and my scales are going way better than they were even just a couple of days ago. I gotta play as many scales as I can and keep working on the tempos for them, and I need to choose repertoire that's really appropriate. So what does it mean to choose appropriate repertoire? I think that it's something that is achievable within a reasonable amount of time, yet it also is challenging to you. That is a really fine balance to always search for, because you can choose something that is way too hard, and yeah, maybe in like a really long period of time you could get, but it's going to take a longer time to feel really successful. And sometimes, especially with a beginner student, I have found it helpful to select really achievable goals. I know that has made this experiment a lot more fun for me, is choosing goals that I know I can achieve. The second half of the repertoire selection, though, is choosing something that is going to challenge you enough, because it's fun just to play the songs. And that is great, you're still practicing sound and posture and other things, but you do want to push yourself. So right now, this arietta that I'm working on is great for me because the first 2 lines are definitely doable for my fingers and allows me to work on phrasing while I'm playing a flute that's totally foreign to me. The third line is good because it kind of links to the scales that I'm practicing on, so I know it's doable as long as I just practice them. Fourth line is great because this is actually challenging for me. This is a new type of fingering patterns, and I really have to sit down and work on it. How do you decide what repertoire to choose for your students? So the first thing I'm going to do is review what I practiced yesterday, which was line 4, because that is the hardest line for me. And that was so much better, oh my gosh! Okay, so most of that stayed with me from yesterday. This guy helps a lot. I was thinking about palindromes the other day, and I was trying to think, are there any palindrome notes on the left-handed flute? I can only think of one palindrome note so far, and it's low D. The same exact fingers are pressing. Both pinkies are up for that note on both flutes. There are a few palindrome notes if we don't worry about this pinky. So if that one is up, for example, B flat then would be a pseudo palindrome note because you still have 1 and 1. So that makes it an easier note to play on this. High E is another palindrome note because you have 1, 2, 1, 2. The only difference is the pinkies have changed roles, and so technically it's not a complete palindrome, but it is similar. Those are the only palindrome notes that I've come up with so far. So if you think of any other palindrome notes, let me know. I'll be curious to see. Today I'm just going to play the last 2 lines of Arietta by Haydn for you to show you what kind of progress I'm making. really close to having this one down. Thanks so much for joining me on Date A. So now I'm inversing the way I talk. Not just the flute, but my brain's going. So, thank you for joining me on day 8 of the Left Hand Flute project. I had another great practice session and am looking forward to day 9. Happy practicing!